pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Raven, we all set? Everyone straight there? Okay. Can we get the approval on the minutes? Can I get a motion to accept the minutes? So moved. Second. Got a motion, we got a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, let's move right on to PS1, a resolution adopting County of Oswego Local Law Number 2 of 2024 entitled A Local Law Authorizing Administrative DWI Supervision Fees Pursuant to New York State Law 27-57-C. All right, can I get a motion for discussion? Motion got a second. Dave, you're up.
Basically, the county attorney actually submitted this because there's a state law that says charge for DUI supervision. It's $30 a month. So we need to modify the local law to coincide with that because there's some change in the law. We just got to include some things. Because right now it only indicates that we can collect for supervision when we actually collect for interim supervision, which is prior to sentencing, and the law doesn't really reflect that. So we'll need to change the local law to reflect the state law.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. PS2, resolution adopting County of Oswego Law Number 3 of 2024 entitled Oswego County Traffic Diversion Program Local Law. Can I get a motion? Second. Got a motion. We got a second. Any discussion? Well, let's go with Tony first and see what he has to say.
Nothing more than what I've already said at the last public safety meeting. We're looking to implement this program to alleviate some of the burden that's on our ADAs. We believe this to be a more efficient way of handling our traffic matters. In addition to that, it also lends a different way of looking at traffic infractions and allows for an educational program to back up our prosecution of traffic infractions.
Any discussion? No?
How many other counties?
Just around here, there's Cayuga, Jefferson, there's Essex County. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few more. There's a number of counties that are already in the process, already are doing this. Livingston County,
Broome
County. That's the major county that's been doing it basically for a long time.
Yeah. So it's been out and about. It's been used and
tried and true program, and it's been used in many counties and mostly a lot of our adjacent counties.
Which that's really good because then it's kind of like the same thing around us.
It's a consistent process.
Okay.
I mean, we all do it a little bit different, but I mean, that's our choice.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Mr. Castillo?
Section 3, Program Administration. Can you explain that, read that, and explain that to me? The last sentence of it, the end of it is what I would like to explain. Because the district attorney, at the last meeting we asked who's going to administer it, who's going to run it, who's going to take care of it. And it says here the district attorney and for County of Oswego being hereby authorized to establish and utilize the traffic diversion program and shall have full and complete discretion over the administration of the program and eligibility except as provided for herein and to enter into a contract in furtherance of same.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Sure. The district attorney, I'm going to decide which infractions are actually eligible for the traffic diversion program. That's what that means. In addition to that, changes from time to time, maybe that may change which traffic infractions might be eligible for traffic diversion. We also talked about this, if you remember, adding an additional component to our DWI prosecutions, another educational component as well. As I explained to at the last public safety meeting, all the information is run through the website through Advent, who's the company. They will disclose each and every person who has entered into this program. They will disperse the funds directly to the Oswego County Treasurer. The Treasurer disperses funds pursuant to the local law. I don't have any discretion over how those are, it's set in
Right,
law.
well, that's not what I'm looking for, who's gonna be making who's gonna take care of the program and see who's gonna do what, where, when, and how.
That goes,
You know, and so
that
you
goes through
guys,
me.
so you're gonna have somebody to do that, or because you're doing it now.
Well, we're not really doing it right now, but I'm taking care.
Right, you're
I'm
doing
the
it.
supervisory person over any traffic infractions, disposition of traffic infractions. Still will be even under this local law, as well as working with Advent and updating a long time update to our website. Yes.
All right, Mr. Klein.
So, you said there was and I know you've gone over this, there was like 7 or 8 counties that are doing this already. You said Advent is the company that is
It's a major player.
a major player now. And all I can tell you is I don't know statistically among all, but I know my kids have a real problem with speeding. And they drive all over the state, and that's an issue. And that's the reason I bring this issue up. Say Susie Smots gets assigned, she does 70 or something, or 75 or whatever the hell it is, and gets put into the program.
Yes.
But if she's like my daughter, she travels all over the state because of her business.
Right.
And she gets a ticket in, we'll say, Chicago County.
Okay.
Because you didn't mention that county. Is there any kind of communication that we know, or not we as, me as the legislator, but as you as part of the traffic situation, because they do fall under your umbrella,
Right.
that we have, and sure, I'm going to say, I'm sure on where the hell you are.
He just walked out.
Just walk out, okay. People that speed.
Right.
Okay, that is what it is. And I just want to know what the accountability is, to the point where there's communication amongst counties that do have this program and don't, and follow the basically the pattern of that particular individual. The bottom line, get them to stop before they kill themselves or somebody else. I don't care what they do themselves, but somebody else.
Right. The traffic diversion program is to meet that issue of recidivism in our county. Department of Motor Vehicles covers your driving record. But I would say that what's going on now is anybody who gets a particular traffic infraction is not reportable to the Department of Motor Vehicles, like a 1201A, a parking ticket, if you will. So those are things that all happen through what's called an abstract of your driving record that's controlled by the Department of Motor Vehicles. So are we in tune to that? We can ask for those records. Those records are provided, upon request.
Because the bottom line, I just want them to stop speeding, that's all.
Right. Well,
Or do it really excessive.
I do as well, and that's why I believe that the education component of that not a lot of. If you just negotiate with somebody and give them a traffic, a reduction, there's no teeth to it at all. There's a fine, a surcharge, a big deal. No offense, but
I don't take offense to it.
And his current policy is they've got to send in a copy of their abstract with their summons when they forward it to the GA's office in present. So he has that in place already. So they'll have any convictions that you already have for traffic violations along with the actual summons.
Which will actually go into the website as well. They'll be monitoring those issues. It'll also be able to say whether you have done this. If you have a ticket in the town of Central Square, or the village of Central Square, and also in the town of Hastings, you're not going to be able to take it twice because they'll know that's the same individual. So, I mean, there's protections and monitors to all that in the website itself.
Mr. Gilson, you have a question?
Yeah, do we know the length of time for the training or this class that the individuals will have to take? Is this like a 5-hour course, or?
It's approximately, no, it's not 5, but it's a little bit more than an hour.
Okay.
Hour or 2.
And it's my understanding that this should relieve your ADAs to spend their time on more important misdemeanors and other cases.
I could tell you that we've kind of, in my own, in the last couple of months, I've tried to, in the last few weeks, try to just hold on writing traffic dispositions. I can tell you, just from that experience in 2 weeks, we have alleviated a lot of time for our ADAs to work on misdemeanor and felony cases. The time that it takes to do these traffic infractions is immense for our office. So just to kind of just give you a full experience of what we're doing, we've kind of held off and just see how much time we actually have. And the time is incredible that we're saving.
Mr. Yurden.
I can see why you're doing it, to try to eliminate some of the workload, and but it seems to me like you're going to get more work. If I'm writing a ticket out in the town of Richland, I got to turn that ticket into the dropout point in Richland. They're going to have to send it to the judge will get it, and he's going to send that ticket to you to get it reduced.
No,
where's the actual ticket going to go?
It goes from the alleged speeder comes to us. The alleged speeder gets arraigned in a local court. Usually the arraignment's 35 to 45 days from the time of the issuance of the ticket. The ticket's kind of like a notice to appear, in other words.
Because the judge will have that same ticket.
Well, everything's electronic now.
Yeah, so
there is no sending tickets anywhere anymore.
Yeah, they don't drop them off.
Everything's in the track system. Each car has a computer system in the car, and it downloads automatically to the state system, and the courts all get it electronically.
We're gonna have an aggressive program of getting it out there, how to get into the website to take the traffic diversion program if they so choose. They may not choose to use it.
If they don't choose, it would have to go to a trial out in one of the townships.
Maybe if they ask for a trial.
Some of the judges think they might increase the workload and have more trials.
Well, I think if you let the program run its course, they'll probably find out that that's not exactly what's going to happen. By experience of other counties that are using it, it is immensely assisted with the workload on both sides, along the district attorney side as well as the court side. So I think if the program will show facts otherwise. But of course, you have to let the program advance into its process. And I don't think a month you're going to get that. Maybe 6 months to a year, you'll get an idea of what's happening with the program. And I'm sure you'll find that it will alleviate time on the district attorney side. The defendant side will give more options, and one of the important options there. And on the court side, it will alleviate the workload.
Any other questions? No?
No, they opt out without going to the court.
Sure.
That's to eliminate they ever have to go to the court.
To be honest, many of them never see the light of the court or the corridors of the court system. Yeah. To be honest with you, okay. So this will be that is another way that it expedites the process.
Right. So that's even less time that the judge has.
Yeah, right. I mean, you just imagine anybody who's speeding in the county of Oswego. They have the opportunity to take the diversion program. They can get on the phone and take the diversion program instead of making arrangements to come to a town court, appearing and then getting an adjourned day. So just imagine that times whatever. Add the number. So.
Well, it could be big.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's move on to PS3, which is attached to this. That's a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement with Advent Financial Systems, LLC, traffic diversion program.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Yeah.
Second? Okay. Any questions? This is attached to this last one. Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, going to the last page, number 6. So, and I read in there where it's not going to cost us anything to have this, from what it says, beginning one of the first paragraphs. But if I get a speeding ticket, if I choose, it's going to cost me $250 plus the 40 or $250 plus the 50. Is that correct?
That's
So the same thing with the 350 plus the 40 or plus the 50.
That's if I could, that's more on the added provision for
Right,
even
but
price.
But if I choose into this program,
Yes.
okay. First they pay the $250 for the program.
Yeah.
That money is going to go into a bank to go to whatever.
Right, periodically it'll be paid.
Whatever you decide we're going to donate it to.
Yeah.
But then the 50 goes to admin.
Not donations.
Well,
Okay.
so we had.
I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. It's not a donation. So.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to be allocated to the
Allocated to the town. Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. But then the 40 or 50 is an add-on to that, correct?
That's the cost. We don't have any upfront costs to do the website.
Okay.
The only cost that retains is the traffic safety or defensive driving cost.
Okay. So, and
that's the
so
cost
does
for
the
them.
40 or 50 come out of that 250, or is it on top of that 250? That's what I'm asking.
It's an administrative fee. I believe it's on top of that.
That's the way I know it to read.
I'd like to know that you believe, you don't know for sure.
That's the way it reads.
Yeah, I know that's the way it reads,
Yeah.
but you know.
Well, I guess I should have, let me correct my statement. That's the way it reads. Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is that in favor or opposed, Frank? A little slow.
No, it wasn't slow, it was the.
Is it for or opposed? I'm sorry.
You said for,
Yeah.
okay, and you said opposed, you said opposed, I got my hand.
Okay. Just checking. Okay. All right, PS4.
Didn't want to get
Motion
called-
carries.
I didn't want to get called for being offside.
There you go. Okay, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, sheriff's office, transfer from insurance recovery, treasurer's office, to automotive supplies and repairs, road division. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And second? Okay, thanks, sir. Okay, any discussion? Moving some more money around, putting back into the fleet, another accident. I don't remember what the amount was. I don't think it was that significant.
Well, it's $10 more.
Was it 10,000? 10,000. A little over 10,000. Anybody have any questions, discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, PS5. Resolution authorizing Oswego County District Attorney's Office to enter a service contract with Finger Lakes Paralegal Service. Can I get a motion? A motion, can I get a second? A second? All right, let's open it up for discussion. Go ahead, Sonny.
Well, it's just another component of, we have what's called a class or case management program called PCMS that's offered through the New York State Prosecutors Institution, which is called NIPT. This program was developed with the onset of discovery and the added requirements that the people have for the prosecution of cases. Coming in here for the first 3 months, I've been observing, and one of the observations is that our PCMS case management system is not being used as efficiently as it should be. I'm asking to hire a consultant who's very efficient and understands the PCMS NIPT program, case management program, to look into our system as to how we're using it so that it becomes more efficient. And then adding a training component to it once we get our system to be working efficiently. In the last week or so, I've interviewed through my assistant, interviewing all the individuals who are currently working in the district attorney's office and asking them what type of training that they received The results are astounding, is that they receive little to no training on how to use the PCMS program. I think it's a well-spent amount here, because efficiency means I can get cases out and prosecute quicker using our technology to streamline our procedures. She's also willing to work with law enforcement. Because law enforcement is the first, like with the Sheriff's Department, and they have their own dedicated discovery that they download into our PCMS system. So she's actually willing to work with them to come up with new tips about how to streamline those procedures as well. So I believe she's asking for $9,500. I think it's money well spent. It'll make up for whatever time and efficiency we can cut off in prosecuting cases to get information out as soon as possible. And more so, having everybody work from the same system with the same key codes and the same, right now that's not working that way. So we need to get it that way. And I believe having this consultant in would be beneficial for that process.
I think that's a great idea. Any discussion?
Probation. We use it too.
Mr. Klein?
Yeah, Tony, and I'm sorting through what you said here, and I'm having a hard time getting all the pieces put together here yet, but bottom line, are you saying this is going to save us money down the road? Because efficiency means money to me.
That's what it means to me as well, and having everybody streamline. So to give you an example, a previous administration asked for everything to be flagged, such that at every component you get a warning that something's about to happen. Pretty much that everything's flagged, meaning that nobody really takes it serious enough. So we need to get more efficient in what are the most important things that need to get done in this program, and to get out cases. It's really the PCMS system is to get out discovery to the defense counsel as soon as possible, and then tell them we're ready for trial. And that's all in that's all in how the program is set up and who's putting information in that program. So if we're all on the same page, efficiency, it's done quicker, and I'm spending less person hours doing it. So yes, money at the end of the day, it's going to save us money.
Do you have a way of tracking this, do you, Tony, yet, or are you still working on that?
I will be tracking it. It's not yet happened. We've come up with some of our own procedures which show that we're getting discovery out quicker and then declaring ready for trial quicker in the last 2 months than was ever filed in the last 6 or 7 months prior to my administration. So I will be able to track that. I will continue to track that. I'm hoping that even the numbers get even more efficient once we get down to a more streamlined system. But I will track it so that I can give you the results.
Frank, you have a question?
Yeah, so this is a one-time fee, is it a one-time training?
Yes, but it'll happen over a number of days, months.
It says 2 full days.
Of training at the end of the day, she's dedicated for 2 full days of training. However, most of our work's going to be done by getting into the system electronically, remotely, and speaking to each of our assistants, including ADAs, and how they use the system. So she'll have access to our system and can remotely figure out how things are being used, and then make recommendations. And once the recommendations are made, we implement them. She comes in person and trains.
It says after the invoice, then it's going to be $85 an hour. If she has any additional hours.
Right. I'm hoping that we don't get into additional hours. If we do, I'll come back to you and tell you if we need more time.
Does that include them coming to our office?
Yes.
We have 3 people dedicated to discovery after the new discovery laws, and we just designed that ourselves. And quite, I'm sure we're not used to that system.
Right. She had
anywhere near its capacity.
She had some ideas how to streamline that. I actually sat down and talked to Oswego City Police Department, of course the Sheriff's Department, as well as Fulton City Police Department, and they're looking forward to it, as well as everybody in the staff. Looking forward to being trained in this system correctly.
Any other questions? Mel?
I just want to say the computers are only as good as the people putting the stuff in. And if they're not trained properly, that computer isn't going to work. So it's all about, it's us. Everybody says, oh, there's stupid computer. No, it's stupid human. So you need to be trained.
Right from the beginning, too. Because once you put it in incorrectly, then you're just struggling with the whole case from the beginning. So that's what our experience is right now.
Education is power.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Just trying to.
I waited till you hung the call.
All right, Tony, you got anything else for us? I guess we'll let you go first and so you get out.
No, these are, again, first 3 months, we're implementing some new procedures, trying to streamline our cases, using our systems as efficiently as possible, and still working as we go. I know that the PCJS grant had just come in. I just got an email from the treasurer. It was 500,000 plus. We're putting our reapplication as we have to for every other year. So we're in the process of doing that. Other than that, we're just moving along with prosecution cases.
How's the applications coming? We got any, how's your numbers?
We hired a new part-timer. So we filled our last part-time position. We have, I think by this summer, we may have another candidate for an assistant district attorney, but we'll see. We're reporting it out. We're advertising for the position. We don't get many applications, to be quite honest. I think really the way to go is more on the CLA that thankfully you approved of earlier. He's working out fantastic, actually, and we're able to. I'm kind of taking a different look at this, and maybe it's better to start them out early, teach them our ways, and then they become more efficient in our case, because our CLA is working. That process is working very good. I also have a law student coming in for a summer internship. So my plan is to develop that a little bit more for the summer, have one law student and one undergrad. We have a beat on an undergrad. Unfortunately, there's zero pay for this, and most of the law school graduates get money for their internships, so hopefully the experience will be what they're looking for, but we have a law student coming in during the summer, so hopefully that's another way that we can enhance our advertising for positions for assistant district attorney.
Phil, none of our interns are paid?
No, not normally.
No?
Or when?
Well, they used to be.
That's changed. Yeah, but they have to be paid now.
But they used to have paid interns in DA's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought I saw something about that somebody else was just hiring, and that it was a paid.
We can pay. We can't.
So, Mike, you can get paid.
That's the first I heard of that. So
Yeah. So that should help you.
You'll be hearing from me next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought they got paid. Okay.
It's only a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, but hey, it's something.
It's better than a ham sandwich, I guess. I don't know.
All right, let's move on. Kathy, usually up first.
Sure. So as you can imagine, our office is pretty busy right now, gearing up for this solar eclipse. We definitely went into a lot of preparedness for this, and thank all the safety agencies that participated in all the planning efforts. We're planning for a reason that we never have to into some of those reasons, but better to be prepared than not prepared for it. With that being said, do we have any questions on the solar eclipse planning, what we're doing? Our office will be operational on Monday. We plan on activating our EOC from around noon till 6 p.m.-ish at night. Our office staff will be in at 8 o'clock in the morning, but we'll reevaluate that at about 6 o'clock at night to see what that looks like, to see if there's anything. And really, we're just a support and coordination for all the agencies that are the boots on the ground. So we hope it all goes well. As I said last month, we did a tabletop exercise that went very well. be incorporating a mass casualty incident into that as well. So it was good to just noodle through that process and what we would do in those instances. So continue on with that.
I understand it's partially cloudy at this point, so it should be good sighting.
Mostly sunny.
Yeah, most of
That's what
the
the weather forecaster is.
Yeah, I saw mostly sunny, and then I thought I checked again, and it was like partial, but it should mean that we're gonna get the traffic. People
Well,
are,
the newest piece is that Texas is going to be severely terrible weather, which is supposed to be the best viewing area. So you'll see people migrating to trying to find that best area.
even more people.
So, so we think we've done a good job at identifying what we think our issues are going to be. So we're hopefully prepared as we can be. We'll see. Just want to highlight that I sent Tyler to a National Preparedness Summit with the Health Department and Oswego Health. It was a collaborative presentation that they did on how these three groups collaborate together to do emergency preparedness, and we could gather, I think the biggest point we had is that we've had 40 years of this. We were the first nuclear county in the nation to have an emergency preparedness program that was accepted by FEMA. We also have the oldest nuclear power plant in the country, and like I said, we were the first one to have an approved program. So you can see where that collaboration effort started back in the mid-'80s and still following through. COVID probably gave us the most experience hand-on of our whole event. So you can add something to that, but the presentation went very well and was received very well. So kudos to us. As I brought last month, I've been working on trying to get some ground on changing executive law, Article 2B, specifically 29C, which is the radiological funding, and working with New York State Division of Homeland Security Services to try to get some of that funding back that they kept from us, as well as Minority Leader Barkley's office is working with a few of the other assemblymen across Wayne and Monroe counties to try to collaboratively do something during this budget session. So hopefully we can get that funding restored, because if we don't get that executive legislation changed next year, we stand to lose more funding. So something important on my docket, I'm sure on your docket too, because that leads into my pocket and yours. So that's something I could say about that. So that's just of more importance for us right now, so to keep that funding approved and keep us whole, if not more. We do have 75% of the reactors in New York State in our county. So we have 3 of the only 4 operating reactors left in the state. So the funding should stay up here. I hope everyone else agrees with that. As for the drone program, appreciate you guys moving in full-time position. We were able to send 2 sheriff's pilots and John to our National Public Safety Drones Responder Conference. They brought in a lot of great information. The technology that we were waiting for is now here and available to start our newest public safety initiative, which would be the drone as a first responders / drone in a box piece. So we'd like to try to bring in some of that stuff so we can start testing that piece to show the FAA that we have reliability and safety in operating the drone like that. So something I'll be trying to bring John and maybe to bring to this committee next month, just to take a look at it from what the cost standpoint is and what we would get for that cost. Also, we have submitted 3 new grant applications to try to get some funding, so maybe it wouldn't come out of this piece. So we're waiting to hear on some of those. One was a congressional funding grant, and one is a Schumann Foundation Foundation application. And then just wanted to hit really quickly on Great Lake levels. So you can see on my report that water levels are considerably down this year, lower than 23 and 22. So our seasonal flood potential is below average. Overall, so our snowpack is very low too. So you can see the water levels being pretty low going into the spring unless we get some significant rainfall. But just so you're aware of that, see them on the other side. Flood years. So that's all I got for now, unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Pat? You good, Joe? All right, Nate.
Yep, good morning everybody. In the education, EMS education realm, it's super busy. Our night class in Fulton has 7 students. a lot of them from the Oswego Town Fire Department and a couple others here and there, Williams Sunfire, Bolton. So that's been running really well. Smaller class size, but all the students have been engaged in the learning process. And, I expect that we're going to graduate with all 7 of them here in May, end of May when they test out. So the class inversion that we're running has continued to the 15 original students from all over Oswego County and 5 refreshers. So that's exciting. Like I said, whenever we see refreshers, we're excited about it. Those are the people that are breaking the mold and actually continuing to keep their certification, which is definitely outliers. So refresher students are always awesome to see. The Mentor Spring Academy just started up last week. 9 original students and 1 refresher student. So that is going very well. We get some new EMTs in their ranks. We're continuing to work with Workforce New York on these courses. Our course sponsorship renewal, our certification that allows us to offer New York State EMS classes, that is expiring this June, so we're working with the Bureau of EMS to make sure we re-up our certification. We definitely want to continue to offer these classes. These classes really help our staffing in our county and kind of set us above some other counties in the area, so we want to make sure we're definitely still offering the education piece. We keep providers and ambulances. So we're developing course materials for an advanced EMT class, which is that intermediate level between paramedic and EMT. You have to be an EMT to take it, and it's another 150-hour course. We actually are submitting a request to the state to run one of these courses in class guys. It'll run, I believe, like June to September timeframe if the state approves it, which I expect they would. So that would be the first intermediate level course to run in over 10 years. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of a learning curve as we kind of offer it, but I'm excited to give providers an opportunity to kind of get that intermediate level. And continue to use ARPA funding to provide volunteer services with additional funding for their members and their agencies, so volunteers don't have to pay out of pocket is really what we're trying to work towards with that. So in the response phase, a couple of things I'd like to highlight. We're working with all the agencies on updating the county mutual aid agreement. New York State, I think, is coming down to some new requirements for that, so we're kind of waiting to see what they're going to be, and then we're going to curtail our plan to kind of line up with that. So hopefully more on that shortly once those guidelines come out from the Bureau of EMS. But all of our EMS agencies are 100% on board and excited and want to work with one another to make sure that all the residents are getting ample EMS coverage. So that's been super encouraging. With the solar eclipse thing, the day of, every EMS agency has been super amazing at planning extra staffing, making sure their employees know that it's going to take a little bit extra time to commute to work those days, and just going above and beyond really to make sure that we have ambulances and providers working that day to make sure that any influx of call volume are prepared for. Not just call volume, but longer, response times and longer return times from Syracuse area hospitals and things like that. So that's been really encouraging and awesome to see that everyone's kind of stepping up and preparing for that. We've also been working with the other local county EMS coordinators to make sure that we're going to have an open line of communication that day. So, like, if Jefferson County has like a high acuity patient coming down 81, they'll be communicating with us. So we know there's certain traffic issues we can assist in getting them through the county so they can get to the hospital a little bit easier, like things like that. So, and Tyler's been amazing at helping us out with some of that stuff too. So, and Kathy, and it's been a large team effort with all that stuff. So, other than that, just participating in a wide variety of different meetings and making sure our providers have what they need to continue to serve the residents, to fit their needs as best as we can.
Thank you. Any questions for me? Richard?
And going back to, Kathy mentioned that your employees are going to all be working on that next Monday. I don't know about probation. I have no clue. 911, I'm sure will be working. I'm sure Sheriff, you probably even have extra people on, I would imagine. What people aren't working, Bill?
I'm sorry, Rich, what was the question?
Bill, which people won't be working next Monday?
That's being worked out now. We should have some type of announcement today or tomorrow.
All right, now are those people that we're saying today they have a day off, are we paying them?
We're getting into something that has not been announced to the public yet, and needs to be done through a SOE.
All right, then you're also addressing the fact that if the sheriff's people are working and 911's working and
Everything will be, everything,
time and a half or something or another. We gotta come up with a fair resolution.
we already have, it's all set. So everybody will be taken care of equally, and it'll be equitable.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Do we have any idea how many people might be coming?
We don't. We can gauge what we know from the previous total solar eclipse, but we're just planning for excessive amounts of people of our population. So we've been going with double our population, worst case scenario. But we could see them navigating to those places that probably they might be able to see it more clear. And who's in totality. So if you're looking towards your Jefferson County or towards the Buffalo area, maybe they'll head that way, but who really knows at this point? So we're trying to prepare the worst and hoping for the best. And I really hope we're over-prepared is what I would say. I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Jefferson County has an event plan that they require pre-registration for, and they have pre-registrations from all over Europe. That gives you an indication.
There's some Chinese people coming to stay at my house.
Mine's Buffalo. Yeah, has 5 of his friends.
Anchorage, Alaska coming in?
Yeah.
We have people coming up from Pennsylvania to take boat charters. They have charters from 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock, wanting to know what time they need to get up here to get on their boat charter out at Mexico Point. I mean, they're coming from all over, so we have no way of gauging. It's really hard to figure that piece out. So we'll do the best we can. I think we've prepared everybody for what to expect, and we know it's traffic congestion and coming in and going out. So, and probably cell tower issues. So that's going to be congested too. So we're trying to get as much information. Our public information office has been doing a remarkable job with the news releases, trying to get information out to the public on best ways to prepare for it. But we're also hitting the people from here. So unless they're reading our stuff, it's hard to get it. But I mean, New York State has been doing really a large piece of push out to people, social media and in news releases, just to say, come early, stay over, be prepared, have gas, have cash, because, everybody relies on credit now too, so, have a little bit of everything. So bring your phone chargers, charge your phones. So we hope that, and they'll come without reservations anywhere and expect to just walk back out the door. So we anticipate that there will be some issues. So at least don't know how bad. Let you know on the 9th.
Did you see the news report that there's counterfeit safety glasses?
Oh, yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah.
Is it in the fact that they're counterfeit? Is that going to be harmful to people's eyes?
Good. Yeah. Definitely. And I mean, they're using the ISO certification right on it, and they're counterfeit. So I mean, you need to buy from those reputable. We had a list that we were offering throughout our tourism that you guys put out that listed the area, vendors that we knew had the certification and had the glasses available. And there were many stores that were offering them. I know tourism had some in their place, and the city of Oswego is offering them at their visitor bureau coming into the area. So we've offered them. We bought some just for our emergency response personnel, that people we knew were going to be working that day. We have them for them. Of course, we don't want you driving with them, but
you can't put them on, you're like, why?
You put them on, you're like, you can't see anything. So really, it is not for when the solar eclipse is happening. It's prior to that, because when the actual solar eclipse is happening, you don't need the glasses on. But and I believe all the school districts are giving them to their students. So hoping that they're doing the best they can to protect people and also provide us as much preparedness activities as possible. So, I said, hope for the best.
Yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah. I see the thruway has it throughout the thruway signs, solar eclipse. They're, notifying it. And so I thought that was good. Now, one question, do we have ambulances throughout the county or are they all in one area? Nate?
So, the additional ambulances would basically be staffed in-house at the EMS agencies. Every EMS agency, Noken, Pulaski, McPhee, Mexico, Mentor, which covers Oswego, Fulton, Central Square and everything in between, North Shore out in Cleveland, Savac covering SUNY, Oswego. Everyone is beefing their staffing, so that way there's
Yeah, you just didn't want to have, local place that they might, you ain't going to get out.
So, and also as agencies get pulled, are running low on resources, it'll kick to exactly what we do right now in that situation with the strategic staging of moving a resource from like Fulton to Vaughan to a more centralized location, or just for example. That'll kick like what happens right now. So
I hope we get some good pictures of the traffic from our drones.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
yes, the drones will be very valuable.
They'll be very valuable, won't they?
Yeah, they will, and we've got strategically, what we think is strategically placed throughout the county to help with that, and also give us a vision of what we're seeing as in congested areas or not. And we've got one on kind of like a standby of, hey, if we need it for a specific location, then it can go. So we'll have that footage. We'll be able to watch a lot of that from our EAC.
Oh, that's great.
And select fire departments are, I know Shane's not here, but select fire departments are staging not the Florida firehouses as well, as they can. So.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to probation. Let's keep moving.
Pretty much overall our numbers are staying kind of high. We've got, according to my report of guys, we had 100 investigations in February, which is on a high end for us. Our supervision numbers are staying up. We had 111 people on pretrial release, which is really high for us. So, which is kind of a bad time because we're down two PO positions, and we also have a person in training, and we have another one that's going to training. The fundamentals training should be in Buffalo County for 4 weeks. So kind of a bad time for us to have high numbers, but we're kind of shuffling things around and outlining. We received our 2 new cars, so I want to thank the committee for approving that. So it's good to see more reliable vehicles because I don't want to break it down all the time. So that'll be nice. We're out on the road a lot. So for Stop DWI, got a victim impact panel coming up on the 17th of April. We're working with 3 school districts for mock DWIs, Mexico, Oswego, and Hannibal. So I think I said that mention to you. We're going to be at the Eclipse Block Party in Oswego on Sunday afternoon with our pedal carts for Stop DWI. They invited us, which is nice. We're going to some driver education classes. We've got some other school events we're doing. And as of today, actually on the 1st of April, they changed the law at the end of last year regarding DWI fines and surcharges. So all of the surcharges now are going to be coming back to the Stop DWI program versus going to the state, because they took up for the last several years. We get the fine money into the program, but the surcharges went to the state. So that's all going to be diverted to Stop DWI, which is nice because it'll help our revenue a little bit. But I don't know exactly what it'll do for us, but over a whole state is supposed to be several $1 million extra revenue.
Any questions for Dave? None. I don't see Kevin from 911, nor do I see Shane from our coordinator's office. Jonathan Don, you got anything?
Just back to the Eclipse, we have a tactical team on standby, not because of the Eclipse, but just a number of people. We just thought we have them ready. And staff in the airport, the Jefferson County Airport is completely sold out, and so far we have 25 aircraft landing in our airport that normally don't. And we're going to staff deputies out there just to control the gate access. It's probably by then the airport will sell out for aircraft company. The other thing is today is the first day of our newest police academy, starting their career on April Fool's Day.
That's something nice.
Yeah.
5 deputies, 12 that I wanted to hire, but we just exhausted the list.
So we're going to give another test now.
No, we do it constantly.
Okay. Well, good luck, those 5.
How's it coming at Cayuga Community College, the whole?
It's construction started down there, it's looking pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm hoping the next academy class will be done.
I would think it'd be done by then. You would hope. Yeah, I mean, they're well underway.
Yeah.
You gotta live in hope or die in despair, so.
Other quotes. Frank, you got a question?
Yes, I have, because I'm on Public Safety Committee. The City of Fulton, Mayor of Fulton, we gotta go back to the moratorium that the county put in effect for asylum seekers and refugees being sent here from other municipalities, and how we issued it, and everybody was in favor. I'm in favor of it, okay? What the City of Fulton is looking for is, City of Fulton is looking for some help in enforcing and checking this, you know, the possibility of asylum seekers and refugees being in a motel. And the reason they brought it to me first is because the motel happens to be in my district, okay? And there's, word is that there's, you know, asylum seekers or, you know, refugees at the Red Roof Inn in the City of Fulton. Now, I've gone round and round with county attorney as to who should be doing what. And the City of Fulton is in a state of really dilemma because they don't have the manpower to do what is requested. They're asking for help from the county and the other county legislators that represent the City of Fulton to seek the county's help in finding out if it's fact or fiction, and to react to such, because the moratorium is coming from the county, not from the city. And that's what my main purpose was today, to speak with you, Sheriff, to see what and if. And I know that it's a bad time because we got everybody in the sun's coming to this Oswego County, and
Yes.
everybody's going to see people everywhere, okay? But the last time the mayor was in the lobby of that motel, okay, he did notice that there were a certain number of people that could be refugees or asylum seekers around in the...
Based on what, Frank? Because that's perfectly illegal if you're going to say because they're brown. You know, you can't stop people.
All I said
Check their
this is what
legality.
the mayor said. Sir, this is what the mayor said.
Well, I'm just telling you, what you're suggesting is illegal.
Well, the mayor said that, you know, he
I
didn't
want to
know.
be clear about that.
He didn't know if
We're
they
on
were.
record here, right?
I know where I'm.
Okay.
I don't care. He didn't know if they were or they weren't. But, you know, we don't have, you know, the City of Fulton does not have the manpower and the ability to be able to do what is needed, and how are we going to enforce it, and what are we going to do about the moratorium? Is there anything, or is it just, okay, we put the moratorium out there, it's what the city is looking for help on? Okay, now, if we can do it, they're asking for it, and that's what they're saying, okay?
If there's an incident, we get called to.
How do we determine an incident, Sheriff?
If 911 dispatches us to a crime, a complaint, we respond. Keep in mind, in this state, they are not allowed to work with Border Patrol to check somebody's status.
Okay.
We run the risk of losing our access to data channels if we would do that. I don't agree with that, and we work daily with Border Patrol and INS. It's a state issue and a federal issue. We respond to whatever we're called to. But keep in mind, right now we stop cars on 81 and we're arresting people for smuggling, human smuggling. Border Patrol is responding. They're being housed in our jail as an overflow facility. Complete opposite policy from the southern border, where they're given an airline ticket and allowed to fly anywhere they want to go. On the northern border, we're arresting them and sticking them in jail. So, I don't know. It's a mess. Immigration policies, nationwide, statewide, countywide, and local laws. It's a mess. So I can't really tell you what the policy is. I can tell you, as Chairman stated, we're not simply going to roll up on groups of people and start running them to see if what their status is. Okay, I think
I mean, so, you know, I'm looking, you know, just so that if City of Fulton, if somebody, if City of Fulton wants to call 911 and report possibility of an incident at the motel, then we will react to it.
They better be careful about what they're calling.
Sheriff, and Chairman, I'm trying to be as tender and diplomatic as possible here, okay? Because it's been brought to me, okay? And this is what, I am being charged with performing my duties as a county legislator representing the District 25, and what are we at the county level going to do, okay? If there is a possibility, or if there is whatever they're asking for. They're asking for help from the county, and what is the county answer to them?
I just gave you our answer.
What's the answer?
Bill, you want to chime in on this? I just gave you.
It's also important to note that the emergency orders apply to another government or municipality facilitating the transport of people into the county. People can still arrive on their own.
I explained that to them.
We can do nothing.
I explained that to them.
In the orders, it require that a facility if a facility, before a facility can work with another municipality to accept people, they'd have to apply for a permit through us. So, what I can offer is I'll check with the health department and see if there's an application that's coming through that facility.
I've already done the due diligence on it.
There is none?
Yeah, there is none. Okay, I've explained the whole situation to them. I said, if let's say, let's say Catholic Family Charities wants to rent a bus and bring people up here, that is not against our, our moratorium, because that's a different case altogether. It's not a municipality. And I, explained that to them, and they're still looking for the county to say something and do something for them, because they're in such a state of disarray with not having enough police officers. I said, well, the sheriff's office is down people also, and they still are looking for an answer from us, okay? And I've done my due diligence, bringing it forward, and I totally understand where we stand, okay? Somebody can pull up in a van, okay? They can rent a van somewhere and come up here. And there's nothing, there's nothing against our moratorium on that, okay? I understand it. I've explained that, okay? So what, we do from here is, if somebody wants to call the mayor of Fulton, Mr. Rice, and explain to him what his avenue has to be in order for the county to step in or help out, okay? The county doesn't just oversee it. Come in and take things away from the city, I know that, okay? And if I explain that to them. The county's not going to just walk in here and say, okay, you got to coordinate it with the chief of police, the whole thing. Okay? That's all I'm looking for. I don't want to hold the meeting up in Illinois, but that's what I'm asking for. Thank you very much for your time.
Any other business?
Motion adjourned.
Thank you. Motion adjourned.